this is Catherine from Accelerated Reader, reading books for you. Today I will be reading Chapter 35 from Two Worlds, a novel of Friends and Foes from Strange Places by Laura T. Lee. Before I begin reading, I would like to give a big thanks to the author for sending me this book to read on my channel. In the description below, I've included links where you may find and purchase this book. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Chapter 35. They raced each other out of the northern tower. Tara ducked as a stray arrow sailed over her head and pushed her way deeper into battle. Stacy had apparently gotten a sword because she was sparring with a fat dwarf. Tara vaulted over her head and slammed the heels of her shoes into the back of the dwarf's head. "What took you so long?" Stacy demanded. "I've already punched about 1,000 dwarves in the face." "Oh, I was just having Teresa whirling around in my head," Tara replied. As she spoke, she wondered how she remembered Teresa in her head. Then she realized when she had suddenly froze. There had been a voice speaking in her mind. "You're mine now." Tara snapped back to attention, kicked a dwarf's gluteus maximus, and said, "We can talk later, but right now we don't have much time." Stacy brushed her hair back from her face and returned to her role of awesome butt kicker. Jake ran at the dwarves, but suddenly he fell back like he'd just landed to something. He got to his feet, dazed, and began pounding the air. Tara looked hard and saw a shimmering force field surrounding Jake like a small cage. Stacy leaped at a dwarf and flew backward, sliding off another force field. The same thing happened to Lily. Tara carefully took one step forward and bumped into an invisible wall. No doubt, another force field cage. Gray fog gathered outside of Tara's cage, taking on the form of a panther. The glowing animal looked disdainfully at Tara, but didn't attack. "I would like to destroy you, but I want you to watch the end of your city." "Teresa," Tara said, glowering. "Only one person has a voice that ugly." The panther bared its fangs. "If you want to live, stop talking. Watch your people fall under my power." The panther took off into the crowd. It dodged the dwarfs with ease. Passing through the elves, they fell to the ground, shaking violently and clutching their heads in agony. Tara drew her sword. She hacked at the force field, and the blade passed right through it. Perplexed and frustrated, she attempted to pull the sword out of the shimmering dome. The force field seemed to suck at the blade, resisting Tara like a game of tug-of-war. It took all of her effort to yank it out. The blade made an impressive squelching sound as it came out. As the last few elves fell, the panther turned to Teresa. "If you wish to be released, I will let you try." Lightning suddenly arched across Tara's invisible cage. Tara glanced at Jake, who was trying to pull his own sword out of his force field. A plan would be nice, she thought. She couldn't get past the force field without being electrocuted, but what other choice did she have? Tara thought of how stupid her plan was. She charged at her cage wall, straight at the panther. Apparently, Teresa hadn't thought Tara would be so suicidal because she stepped back in surprise. For 1 second, the lightning flickered out, and Tara took her chance, passing through the cage and charging at the panther. The animal snarled and glared at her with pure hatred as she brought her sword down on it. The panther turned into a cloud of mist that floated away in the wind. The other force fields went out, and Lily came over. Tara, that was amazing, she said. Crazy, but amazing. Tara stared at the elves on the ground, groaning and shuddering. Our work is not done, she announced. Well, of course it's not done, Jake said. I need to find Teresa and punch her out of her stupid palace of a prison. Stacy nodded enthusiastically. Oh, yes. Guys? What's going on? Everyone turned. Lily was pointing at the dwarves, who were retreating over the hills. Tara watched as a new army rose to meet them. Elves, shuddering as they saw her and her friends. Jake waved his sword in annoyance, which made Stacy back away. Can Teresa bend that many elves to her will? Please say no. Yes, Stacy offered. The crowd goes wild, Lily muttered. Elves began to get to their feet. In a stupor, they stumbled over the grass toward Tara and the others. One grabbed Lily, and she screamed. But Jake whacked him, and the elf collapsed. Let's go, he ordered. The group ran for their lives as the elves wailed in Teresa's voice. Capture them! Destroy them! Thank you for listening. Stay tuned for Chapter 36. Don't forget to like and subscribe. In the description below, I've included links where you may find and purchase this book.